And Matt, we are live for the first time this season with the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association. Season number 3 starting tonight here at the Fly Flag Speedway. Excuse the bit of a mess there at the beginning of the broadcast. A little rushed for time here as we begin season number 3 for the Southern Outlaws Auto Racing Association. Welcome into TDTV tonight. Of course, I am your host, Mr. Ryan Williams, and joining me, as always, the voice out of Marion, South Carolina himself, Mr. Matt Pridgeon. Matt, welcome back to TDTV here as we reset with season number 3 here of the Southern Outlaws.
Oh yeah, it should be a pretty good season too. We got some familiar faces so far. Here tonight. We got some. I'm assuming some newcomers. I looked in the chat today and saw a couple people that were new to the group. So excited to have them join along.
Absolutely right, Matt. We come in here tonight looking at currently I believe this one will be the B main event for the evening, as we see a couple of guys gritting up as we speak. But let's go ahead and show you what happened earlier during qualifying. Looks like here at the Five Flag Speedway, Brian Hacker was the fastest thus far. He put up a time of 18.023 seconds. Thomas Frisch just a little bit slower. He'll be second quick. Tony Quadros, new name to the series here. He'll be third quick. Chris Stump, William Kruska, Elliott Vining, Michael Hall, Brandon Leclerc, Zach Coyer, Alan Carter were your top 10 out of that one. Scrolling on back here, 25 cars looks like Matt signed in for tonight's action here at Five Flags. I believe we've only got one car on track for this B main event, so I guess now's the time for me to apologize that I wasn't quite ready. Had some real life business that I didn't get back from until right at our 8 o'clock start time, so I do apologize for that. So if things look a little wonky here tonight, that's the reasoning. But Matt, we left off this series last season with Thomas Frisch taking home the coveted points title there. This year he's got quite a few new challengers to I guess play keep away from.
Yeah, I remember last season Brian Hacker joined us real late, and Chris Stump and a few other people, and giving Thomas Frisch a tough time out there with results and all. But hopefully they decide to stick with us this whole season and or stick with Sword this whole season and have a fun points battle going on.
Absolutely right, Matt. I do indeed hope that is the case. As we continue on with whatever in the world is going on the track right now. We see a young man out there in car number 48. That'll be Brian Treadwell. Only car on the speedway as we sit. Not exactly sure what this is, Matt. If he's just running out the consolation here or what.
Yeah, there's excuse me. There's supposed to be 5 out there right now.
Right. But currently just Mr. Treadwell as he sits there in car number 48. As we get set here tonight for an 80 lap main event here at the Five Flag Speedway with these Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association street stocks. Again, a bit of a change to this season for SOAR. They will now include a little bit of dirt racing, Matt, as SOAR will head to a multitude of dirt tracks starting in week number 4.
Yeah, that's going to be real fun and interesting. Not sure how many of these guys actually run the dirt street stocks. So it could, talking about the points battle again, it could throw a little monkey wrench in there.
Oh, absolutely could, as I mean, a lot of these guys do race dirt, have raced dirt before. We're excited to see how that part of this season goes. I'm just doing some last second stuff here, trying to get ready to go. For tonight's main event here at Five Flags.
Alex Bernard said he's going to get out there and shake the car down a little bit too before the feature.
There you see Alex Bernard in the 49 car on the speedway, as well as Brian Treadwell. Treadwell, your current... oh, there he goes into the wall, Brian Treadwell. Not what you like to see there for that young man.
Well, I mean, it ain't going to hurt him none. He's
pretty much not. He's the only guy out there right now, so tough, I guess, tough sledding right now, just getting some practice laps before tonight's A-Main. As we look back a little ways here while he is finishing up, you saw your practice results. I'll pull them up right now on your screen so you guys can see how he looked in practice compared to where we are right now. Brian Hacker was the fastest in practice, backed it up. He was the fastest in qualifying as well. As there is finally your checkered flag for your consolation races we get sent for tonight's main event here. And excuse me, Five Flags, man. I'm all over the place right now. Struggling just a little bit. Came in a little ill-prepared. That's my fault. I do apologize for that. But we will persist and have ourselves a nice 80-lap main event here. As you see, Brian Hacker going to lead us from the point. Thomas Frisch to his outside. Tony Quadros will start third. Chris Stump fourth. William Kruska fifth. Good starting position for him. We'll go back. Michael Hall, Brandon LeClaire, Zach Coyer, Alan Carter round out the top 10 for the start. Then it's Reed Christensen and Dylan Sale round out the 12 cars in the top 12. A little further on back here, you see Zachary Wynn will start 13th. Brian Tyler will start 14th. 15th starter will be David Gross. 16th, Cole Ecker. Starting in the 17th spot will be Daniel Brown out of Florida. See here, man. Starting 18th will be Eric Larendeau. Starting 19th, Sean Fletcher. 20th, Mark Davis. 21st, Brian Treadwell. 22nd, Alex Bernard. 23rd, John Goodman. And your 24th final starter will be Christian Angel in car number 22.
Cody Fisher will be in position 25.
Absolutely right there, Matt. Excuse me. Absolutely. Cody Fisher in car number 25, starting 25th, if he does so choose to start this race, as we get a good top-down view of your field of cars here at the Five Flags Speedway. Of course, home to the, well, it was, I believe, Five Flags actually in real life shut down at this point, so that's tough. But, home to the Snowball Derby in real life, and here tonight, home to round number 1 for Season 3 of the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association, live right here on TDTV. And, man, I'm excited, man. I've had a long day here, but I'm really excited to kick back, relax, and enjoy some of this top flight racing action with you here with these Southern Outlaws.
Yeah, man, and I had fun last season with those last 3 races we did. I'm real excited to get this season started and get a full season in with these guys.
Absolutely, because you remember last season we covered them for the, I believe, final 5 or 6 races, and they put on some tremendous shows. But here we get them all season long, and it's about to kick off for the very first time as you see the field heading down the backstretch. Lights out on the pace car. That number 11 there on the point, that is Brian Hacker, a one-time winner last season after joining the series. Behind him is Chris Stump. We saw Chris come on strong late, Chris challenged for a couple of wins right before the end of the season, and this season looking to double down, get a little bit better here, and take a victory here in season number 3, race number 1, and we're about to go green flag racing. Matt Pridge, and we are underway at Five Flag Speedway.
We indeed are. As Chris Stump's going to be able to hold out the second position on the high line there. And Tony Quadros is going to fall behind in the third position. A little movement in 7th place. Michael Hall to the inside of Brandon Leclerc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hall,
Zach
Alan Carter side by side as well.
Yeah, Alan Carter now in the number 38 machine. Remember, he was in the Baja Blast number 1 all season long last year. Carter now in car number 38. Brandon Leclerc right in front of him there in car number 21. Let's give you a little bit of a better look. The Meliella number 21 car back up front here. A little bit of a battle. 6 of William Kruska, 11 of Tony Quadros. Quadros going in the wrong direction off the start here as he falls back behind Kruska on the bottom of the racing surface. 4 laps in the books of 80 so far here at Five Flags. As we look back up front, the lead starts to grow about a quarter of a second between Brian Hacker and Chris Stump. 3rd place right now, Kruska. 4th, Quadros. 5th, Michael Hall. Caution flag, Matt, is in the air. Not sure for who as we look back through the field here. Possibly Mark Davis, a slight bit of damage on the 86 machine. I'll look even further back. Yeah, not seeing exactly who that was on, but a caution flag does fly here on lap number 6 of 80 scheduled tonight for the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association.
Reed Christensen picking up a 4 positions so far. Started 11th, currently in 7th place. Daniel Brown's picked up 5 so far.
Yeah, Reed's on the move here. Biggest loser of the race thus far is Thomas Frisch. Thomas has dropped 15 spots off the jump.
I think he had an EOL.
Did he?
Yeah, because he qualified 2nd, but Chris Stump was on the outside pole when the.
Well, I wonder why we're giving out EOLs in the first race of the season. I have absolutely no idea.
Maybe because he won the championship?
Very, very possibly here is, I'm not exactly sure there. I didn't have a discussion about that before this broadcast started. So you see Frisch there in car number 54. Right in front of him, 16th place currently, is Eric Larendeau. And you see Brian Treadwell, Cole Ecker, the Canadian of the bunch. A couple of Canadians here tonight, Matt. Cole Ecker, Sean Fletcher, both out of the country of Canada. Back towards the front here, we look at race leader Brian Hacker, as lights still on the iRacing pace car as we get set for a restart here on about lap 10 or lap 11, I believe it will be exactly, as the lights do go out. So we'll restart into lap 11. Inside outside options looking like Hacker wants to stick to the outside. Not sure if they are gonna let it count. Yes, they will. So Hacker will go to the outside here. Chris Stump now to the inside there in car number 98 as we get set for a restart here at the Five Flag Speedway, Matt.
Brian Hacker throwing a little loop in it. He chose the outside, but he is on the loud pedal. Got a good start off of that. high side was the side to choose as they go off into turns 1 and 2. Quadro's going to hang on to that third position, but Kruska right underneath him, and Zach Coyer's right on his tail.
Absolutely. Looks like the high side working to perfection there for Brian Hackers. We're looking on at a battle. That is Quadros and Coyer. Zach on the inside, Tony on the outside. Zach's going to have the momentum off the corner. Down the backstretch they go. Coyer move him to the 4th spot. Quadros currently back in 5th. Series promoter Reed Christensen right now in the 6th spot. Battle right behind him between Brandon LeClaire and Michael Hall. Those two battling for position number 7. Looking further back in the field here, Thomas Frisch trying to make his way back towards the front. He's still behind Brian Treadwell. Treadwell right there on the outside. In front of them, the 41 car, that'll be David Gross. Zachary Wynn currently to Gross's outside, but it looks like 41's got a bit of a run. Going to take that spot. 14 laps in the books here, Matt.
And Thomas Frisch going to be able to get around the 55 of Zachary Wynn. Now he's going to try to work on the 41 of David Gross.
Yeah.
Not quite able to get on his inside there, but he's going to try it again in 1 and 2, and Gross going to give him the inside line as Thomas Frisch goes around him.
Yeah, Gross gives him all kinds of room there on the inside. Thomas able to get around him for the time being. Up in front of him, next car in line will be Dylan Sale. You got Daniel Brown currently fighting with Michael Hall there. Oh, Daniel Brown way sideways. Doesn't quite save it. Brown around out of the turn number 2 on the backstretch. Oh, contact. Who was that? I believe that was Jonathan Goodman, as we are still green flag racing here. Check back on Daniel Brown. He's almost up to speed, getting passed and now lapped. As race leader Brian Hacker gets around him. Brown still down on the bottom. So Hacker and Kruska still about a quarter of a second off of each other. Make it a 0.15 second advantage now for Hacker down the backstretch. Kruska looks to the outside there in car number 6. Chris Stump right behind them. There's that number 98 car. It was fast to end the season last year. This season looking to be a little bit better. Is there, Matt? There's a battle for the lead, and it has changed hands. New race leader William Kruska here on lap number 19.
Yeah, and the 54 of Thomas Frisch has now cracked himself into the top 10, and as he is working on the 9th place of Michael Hall. Dylan Brown still staying out the way, and is Alan Carter and Michael Hall are able to get around him now. Thomas Frisch to the outside of him.
Absolutely. So there you see on your screen, Frisch on the outside of that number 33 car, gets around, clears Daniel Brown, now focuses his attentions on Michael Hall in car number 5. The 5 car of Hall taking up the bottom lane. Frisch going to have to try and drive it in deep here. Will he do it? Thomas Frisch in deep. Forces the 5 to stay high. Thomas Frisch will have the position down the backstretch here at 5 flags up to 9th for Thomas Frisch. Alan Carter, the next car in line for your defending points champion. As we take the cameras back towards the front here, there's a battle right now between Zach Collier and Chris Stump as we've got a caution. And Matt, this one I believe will be for Brian Treadwell in the Lowe's Home Improvement number 48 machine here. We'll take it in replay and see if we can figure out what happens here with this 48 of Treadwell. There he comes down the front straightaway. Right behind him was the 12 of Dylan Sale. Ooh, 48, a little loosey-goosey. And he will go around Dylan Sale. A little contact damage as well on car number 12. That will bring out the caution here on lap number 24. Here in the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association round number 1 for season number 3. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in thus far. Something a little bit different here on TDTV. You've gotten used to seeing the DOB sprint cars. Well, unfortunately, they will no longer be broadcasted here on TDTV. The rest of their season has been canceled. So we now turn our attentions to what started TDTV. That is the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association. And they have returned with a vengeance here, looking to put on an exciting season 3.
And William Kruska was starting to put some distance between him and Brian Hacker there once he gained the lead. But I tell you what, the Thomas Frisch, he's on a roll right now.
He absolutely is, but we'll see how this restart goes because if Kruska, I'm assuming, will probably play the same game that Hacker did and start on the top. And if he does, will Hacker be able to take advantage of the bottom? Oh, nope, maybe not, as Kruska then goes right down to the bottom line here. So it must be a new rule here that the leader chooses lane choice. Because we did see it with Hacker a little bit earlier after the first caution, and now Kruska looks like he is glued to the bottom. We'll see how this one unfolds, though. Still quite a ways, still about 13 laps away from the halfway point of tonight's round number 1 from the Five Flag Speedway.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of the changes people have made in their paint schemes for this season. Brian Hacker changed it up a little bit. Alan Carter's got the new number, new skin. And I think Dylan Sales got a new one too. And Elliott Viney.
Yeah, a lot of people with new skins here that you didn't see last season. Kruska, a new skin. Hacker, a new skin. Coyer running the same one. Tony Quadros, a new racer. Reed in the same old Budweiser number 30. Chris Stump, new skin for him. Alan Carter, obviously, new skin for him as well. As we head down the back straight, we're working one to go here at the Five Flag Speedway. David Gross, new name there. Dylan Sale, yeah, like you said, Matt, brand new skin for him. Elliott Vining looking good in that number 55. Or that's Zachary Wynn, excuse me, in the 55. Elliott on the outside of him in the 49. Machinist, the green flag flies. Once again, we're back underway here at the Five Flag Speedway. 29 laps in the books, 11 away from halfway, Matt.
Yeah, and it looks like it might have been not the right decision to choose the high line there, but hey, that high side worked out for Zach Coyers. He started 4th, and now he is in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Zach, a guy that we saw have plenty of consistent runs last season, but just could never get there at the very, very end. So good to see him. So far, so good for that young man there in car number 12. He's up in the 13th, or he's up in the 12th spot. I just looked at his car number and told you that's where he was. He's up in the 3rd spot, and now battling with Tony Quadros, who's back to his inside.
Quadros going to be able to take that 3rd position now. He's going to got the 6 car in his sights, but Thomas Frisch now up into the 7th position.
Yeah, Thomas is on a roll, son, let me tell you.
Tried to peek his nose up under the 30 of Reed Christensen last corner, but Reed Christensen just shut it down.
Yeah, Reed said, no, sir, not quite yet. I might let you try it again here in a little bit as we continue to chip off distance here at Five Flags. 34 laps now going to be in the books of 80, working towards halfway. Race leader Brian Hacker, Kruska, Quadros, Coyer, Stump, your top 5. And now Reed Christensen and Thomas Frisch on the outside looking in. Is that 8 of Whoa, Frisch into Christensen. Caution flag will wave. Reed Christensen with defending champion Thomas Frisch on his back bumper. A little contact and around goes the owner and promoter of the series. Tough break there for Reed as he was battling, beginning to try and battle for that 5th spot away from Chris Stump, and all of a sudden here comes Thomas. A little contact, around goes Christensen.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but they were racing hard there. I think there was a little contact with all 3 of the Chris Stump, Reed, and Thomas. I don't think it was just Reed and Thomas there, but I barely caught the tail end. Well, I caught it from not quite when it started happening, but in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, that's very, very possible that there was more contact than what met the eye there As we'll actually go back, take a look at it here. It'll be a long rewind, but we're gonna find out exactly what happens here with Reed Christensen. As you see him there turned around, let's see what causes this bit of a turnaround, though. As he gets into the corner, yeah, Reed makes contact with the back bumper of Stump 54 into the back bumper of the 30 car, and around went Christensen to bring out the caution here at 5 flags. So very unfortunate there, and then Reed adds insult to injury, goes into the outside wall, but luckily for him, going to be able to continue on in this race as we are, Matt, quickly approaching the halfway point of tonight's 80-lap main event.
Yeah, just a couple laps away here. I think it'll be, what, lap 39, lap 40 when we take the green flag?
Yeah, somewhere right around there. We are quickly approaching that that lap number 40, that halfway point here. And from there on, this is going to be an exciting race to see who is able to not only maintain this lead, whether Hacker or whether... What in the world? There we go. Excuse me for that. That might have sounded horrible on your guys' end. Whether Kruska or Hacker are able to escape with the lead here. Maybe, Tony Quadros gets up in there and puts his name in the hat. Zach Coyer, possibly. Chris Stump. Thomas Frisch, a man on a mission. Looks like he's going to keep his starting spot here. So no fault there for Thomas Frisch for this incident here involving Reed Christensen and himself. Green flag going to fly once again here. Brian Hacker back on the loud pedal. And we are back underway. 40 laps going to be worked this time, Matt. Green flag as they head off into 1 and 2. Great jump for Brian Hacker.
Yeah, Kruska must have spun the tires on the restart now. The 11 of Quadros to the inside of him, trying to fight for the second position. Zach Coyer still behind Kruska, holding on to fourth. Chris Stump rounding out your top 5 with Thomas Frisch hot on his trail.
Yeah, that top 5, they are switching positions like hot potato right now, as you got 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside there. Quadros currently in second. 6 Machine on his outside, trying to take that spot away. There comes that 13 car for Coyer, trying to follow in the tire tracks of the 6 Machine for Kruska. Your Mela yellow car trying to inch his way towards this bunch. Brandon Leclerc back there in the 21 Machine. He's currently hot on the trail of Zach Coyer's number 13. 54 of Thomas Frisch still in the 5th spot. Kruska now to the outside. William going in the wrong direction. Might have pushed a little too hard too soon, as he currently finds himself in 5th. And now might be a little further back as Coyer takes the spot away from him, Matt.
Yeah, and even further back as, well, no, never mind. David Gross got around Brandon Leclerc is what I was seeing. Sorry about that. Thomas Frisch now riding in the 4th position currently. Chris Stump trying to get underneath Quadros for that 2nd position. Thomas Frisch is going to hang on to the back bumper of him, try to get around him as well.
Absolutely. We're looking at the battle for 2nd right now. Stump on the inside, Quadros on the outside. Ooh, contact, Matt. They look like they keep it together for the time being, working into lap 46 of 80. This might go 3 wide as Frisch peaked once, peaked twice. They head down the back straightaway. Thomas itching to make a move here. Race leader Brian Hacker not running away with this one so far. As we will pull up. Let's see if we can take a look at the best times in the race right now, see who's the fastest. And Matt, it's not even close. Your fastest lap of the race so far is Thomas Frisch. He posted at 18.11. Everybody else at 18.5s, 18.6s, heck, even 18.2s. And we'll look at some last lap times. Let's see who's the quickest on the speedway right now. Hacker ran an 18.31 last time by. Frisch down at an 18.29. So, yeah, that 54, Matt, it's coming, and it's coming quick for race leader Brian Hacker. If only Thomas could get a lane around Stump and Quadros, as those two continue to fight for that 2nd spot here.
And Zach Coyer a couple laps ago tried to get around Frisch on the outside, but ultimately came back down as Chris Stump is going to take the position Now Quadros is going to be battling Frisch for third.
Absolutely. Thomas goes back to the bottom here. Thomas Frisch back to the bottom, looking good so far, as he might try and take that spot away from Chris Stump now, as he peaked on the 11 car, got a run at the 98, now falls back in line behind Stump. Ooh, clears. Whoa, Zach Coyer got way loose.
Ooh, that's not good.
I'm trying to find out where this incident went to. As you saw, the 13 of Coyer, he's fallen all the way back to 10th now. There he is. Finally found him once again. He's fallen all the way back to 10th. Right in behind William Kruska, who at one point was up battling for the lead. Alan Carter in 38, a little loose coming out of turn number 4. 53 laps will be in the books next time. Coyer gets back around Kruska. As Zach a little loose there coming off the corner, old corner exit. Into turns 3 and 4. Elliott Vining trying to take advantage of William Kruska. Matt, I believe, looking back at William, he was up there battling for a while. May have went ahead and burned up them tires a little early here tonight, trying to battle for the race lead. Battling for 7th currently is Michael Hall and Alan Carter. Those two locking horns into turns 3 and 4 here at Five Flags. Down the front straightaway they go. Going to be a drag race here on lap 56. Currently give it to Elliott Vining over Michael Hall, or to currently give it to Alan Carter over Michael Hall. Vining's now in the mix as Carter gets a little sideways. Now Vining to the inside, still battling for 7th, 8th, and 9th here, Matt.
Your top 4 are absolutely locked in, as they have absolutely pulled away from the rest of the field, and they are all, right there together, just waiting for somebody to slip up.
They absolutely are. As there you see the gap. We're going to take it back to your top 4, and then all the way back to Brandon LeClaire, currently in 5th. Let's put it up this way, actually, so you see exactly what this gap is. They have got at least a half a straightaway on 5th position, Brandon LeClaire, as he is just now crossing. 23 laps to go here at Five Flags, as your top 4 continue to duke it out up front. Looking back through the field here, trying to find a battle. They're still going at it, Matt. Alan Carter now with Alex Bernard to his inside as they battle for the 10th spot.
Yeah, William Kruska was able to get around that battle somehow, but going to try to track down the 13 of Zach Coyer.
Absolutely, as Coyer's got about a half a second advantage on him, as Coyer currently trails Elliott Vining, who has played his cards right for the time being. Let's look back at a man who was involved in an incident early on in this race, Mr. Reed Christensen. Reed currently back up to the 14th spot as we got one around, I believe, Brian Treadwell at the bottom of turn number 4. Let's see if this one will trigger a caution. Yes, it will. We got a caution here, Matt, with 20 laps to go for Brian Treadwell in the Lowe's Home Improvement number 48 machine. And we're going to hit that rewind button and see what happens here. He comes off of turn number 4, gets way loose down to the bottom, overcorrects it, and spins it out. And he will come to a rest at the bottom of turn number 1 to bring out caution here with just 19 laps to go, Matt.
Yeah, and this top 4's got here, to this point. I don't think they've used up their tires too much, but because they pretty much settled down there and stayed single file there in that last green flag run. But you got to wonder about Thomas Frisch, being that he came all the way from the back. Did he use his up, or?
Absolutely. I am wondering the exact same thing right now. Thomas been quick since the drop of the green flag to start this one, as he tries to take away position number 2 now from Chris Stump. Frisch currently up to that 3rd spot. Race leader from the jump, though, has been Brian Hacker, minus a few Kruska-led laps Unfortunately for William Kruska, currently back in 20th, it looks like, as he continues to fall further and further back here under caution. Currently 17 laps to go. So, Matt, your highest runner that didn't run the season with us last year so far is Tony Quadros. He's currently in the 4th spot. Brandon Leclerc, another new name, right behind him in 5th. David Gross, they're in 6th in car number 41. 7th is Elliott Vining. 8th is Zach Coyer. 9th is Alex Bernard. 10th, Michael Hall. That's your top 10 for this restart that we'll get with about 15 laps to go here from the Five Flag Speedway here in Florida. Yeah, season number 3, Matt. This one is probably the most exciting season that the Southern Outlaws have brought to us thus far. Of course, this series started last year. Their season 1 was all ARCA Menard Series cars. I believe it was. They were ARCA cars that Reed and a bunch of buddies drove. I actually drove one of the races with them. Didn't enjoy it. But luckily, Reed asked me to come on board whenever they restarted with some street stocks, and here we are. 2nd season now on TDTV for the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association here with the street stocks. So good to be back. Absolutely a pleasure to be back as we go ahead, double them up. Lights are out. Man, looks like we'll restart into 14 laps to go tonight from the Five Flag Speedway.
Yeah, Brian Hacker going to go back up to the top side here on this restart. You know, last restart, he chose the bottom probably because of the restart before that where William Kruska chose the outside. But choose the outside, and he's on the loud pedal and wonderful jump. And a good jump for Quadros as well as he's...
Oh, contact.
Ooh, little contact between Stump and Quadros, and they are just going to shove up into the wall. Oh, they keep it off the wall and keep it straight.
Well, there is a melee. Wreck. Yeah.
Big wreck. Big. Ooh, more cars. More cars. Oh.
Well, Matt, I believe it's safe to say that the big one has struck here at Five Flags tonight. Man, oh man. What a wreck. First off, what a wreck that we just saw there. Still cars involved. Coyer still in the wall. Christensen gets a piece. Let's look here. Chris Stump. We're going to go ahead and send it in replay mode and give you guys a good look at this wreck here off of a restart, working into lap number 14. As it looks just like everybody gets together. We'll start from the restart here. You see the number 98 there, Chris Stump. There's contact between he and the 11 of Quadros. Tony Quadros up on the outside. And then the melee starts. 21 car down to the inside. They go 4 wide for a second. 5 of Hall gets in it. 49 of Vining is in it. 13 of Coyer's in it. 049's in it. Alan Carter catches a piece. They're at the very end. See if we can find our 21 here. And just look on. Elliott Vining involved there in 49. There's another one spinning behind him. 55's involved. 6 of Kruska. 17 cars in it. 14 car comes sliding into the 5. Wow, what a hit. That busted an engine for somebody. Yeah, Matt, we've got at least 10 cars involved here. It's safe to say the big one has struck here at Five Flags. Oh, even Brian Toller catches a piece. One of your mainstays for the series. Brian Toller catches a piece. Yeah, man. Race director Reed Christensen cannot be happy about this one, as we have really, Matt, since they started here on TDTV, the first big wreck that we've ever seen from these Southern Outlaws.
Yeah, we've seen a few wrecks here and there, but really not many. No, nothing like this. We really haven't seen many cautions with the series, but especially nothing that big.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, absolutely. One of the crazier wrecks that I've seen from this series. The only one that I can really think back to was towards the end of last season. We had one on a last lap at, oh gosh, where was that, Matt? New Hampshire?
I think it might have been Rockingham.
Yeah, it might have been Rockingham towards the end of the season there. A big rank on the white flag lap. So 9 laps will remain of the 80 scheduled for the Southern Outlaws here tonight at the 5 Flag Speedway. Green flag going to be back in the air here. Brian Hacker, the first one on the loud pedal, and then right behind him is Thomas Frisch. Frisch, a good restart, Matt. Best restart for a second place man so far tonight.
Yeah, he's able to hang up with him. The 41 of David Gross now in the 3rd position. Gets around Quadros and Stump. Thomas Frisch going to peek the nose a little bit. He's going to hang on the inside. Brian Hacker's going to stay up top. Thomas Frisch is going to come out of turn 2 nose to nose with Brian Hacker. Nobody getting an advantage in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, Thomas Frisch will take the lead.
Excellent call there, Matt, as we continue on. Thomas Frisch, your new leader here. Wall contact. Frisch into the wall, Matt.
That looked like a little bit of net code on my end, but I am not sure.
So Frisch into the wall. Caution does fly.
Very unfortunate for Frisch. He was having a phenomenal run as he took the EOL off the start and came from the 25th position.
Yeah, Frisch was, like you just said, Frisch was having a tremendous run. I'm going to throw it in replay here. We're going to find out exactly what happened. We're going to watch it in super slow-mo because that was very, very interesting, to say the least. So we see Frisch take the race lead here. Then they get into corners 1 and 2. Frisch trying to protect the bottom. Now, I'm going to throw it in replay really quickly. I want to see from a first hand if that was netcode or not. 100% netcode. I'll agree with you, Matt. 100% netcode. No real contact was made by those two. 100% netcode there. Absolutely 100% netcode. Man, I feel terrible there for Thomas Frisch because we're going to restart here, Matt. I believe it's going to be like a green-white checkered, and Thomas's chance to get to victory lane to start the season, unfortunately, up in shambles. And I guess fault of the internet. No real fault of his own, no fault of Brian Hacker's. They were racing hard for the lead, and netcode is the determining factor here tonight. But this does, Matt, open an opportunity for a few guys here, including David Gross in the number 41. He will now be your second place starter. Chris Stump will start inside row number 2. Tony Quadros will be to his outside as there goes your pace car, Matt. We're set for a restart here with just 2 laps to go. And it's about to be on like Donkey Kong, but what a restart. What a lead into turns 1 and 2 for Brian Hacker. Right behind him, Stump, Gross, Quadros, Carter, your top 5. As Quadros gets back around Alan Carter, we race down into turns 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. As off of turn number 4, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Caution flag will wave. Man, oh man, the drama persists and carries on here tonight at 5 Flags as we've got yet another caution. And I'm going to take a look at this one. There's contact there between the 12 of Sale, the 46 machine. And then Reed Christensen gets involved. Michael Hall in the 5 gets involved. 4-car pile up here. Coming to the white flag will set us up for at least one more restart tonight with the Southern Outlaws. Tough bit of business here. We got even more coming into. They get a piece of it. There's the 13 of Coyer. There's the 49 of Vining. They all are able to get by at the very last second. So I guess, Matt, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But tough break for a lot of guys here. Reed Christensen was back into the top 10. I believe 46 car was having a good run. Eric Larendeau, he's going to restart from 15th. Jonathan Goodman, a little bit of damage on the 14 car a little ways back. He's currently back in the 16th spot. There's Brandon Leclerc's 21 car. Dylan Sales 12. Damage on the 12 as well. So, yeah, man, not what you like to see here is we've got a caution coming to the white flag. Damage on the 30. Oh, man, a lot of damage on the 5 car here, Matt.
And you saw earlier the 5 car, he took a hard lick on that on the big one. And I can't remember. I'm not sure. I think there is only one fast repair.
There is, yes, sir.
Yep, only one fast repair in this series. So I'm pretty sure Michael Hall's done use his.
Pretty sure at this point a lot of people have used them as well. So before we get set for a restart, your leader right now, Brian Hacker. Second is Chris Stump. Third is David Gross on the start. Fourth will be Tony Quadros. Fifth will be Alan Carter. Alex Bernard will start sixth. William Kruska will start seventh. Daniel Brown will start eighth. Cole Ecker will start ninth. And rounding out the top 10 here for the restart after not coming to a complete stop during that caution will be the number 30 of Reed Christensen. Michael Hall will start 11th, Christian Angel 12th, Sean Fletcher, Zachary Wynn, Eric Larendeau, Jonathan Goodman, Brandon LeClaire, Dylan Sale will round out the cars on the lead lap here as we double them up. Lights are out here, Matt. Set to go green, white, checkered after working caution number 7 on the night for the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association Season 3, round number 1 here at the Five Flags Speedway.
Yeah, and your front row is the same exact front row you saw at the drop of the green flag. As Brian Hacker and Chris Stump are both going to lead us back to the green flag. And Brian Hacker on the gas pedal as Chris Stump has a decent start. He's going to keep it high in 1 and 2. David Gross is going to get the position out of turn number 2.
That he is. Stump on the outside. Gross on the inside. Coming around. White flag going to fly this time. 1 lap to go here from Five Flags. Oh, wow, Matt. Another big wreck here, but we continue to race down the backstretch. We'll fill you in on what happened here in just a moment as Brian Hacker works into turns 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. Lap cars up on the top. Stopped cars at that, but off of turn number 4, Hacker will win round number 1 here at Five Flags in car number 11. Gross will finish second. Stump will round out your top 3 here tonight. Quadros 4th, Kruska 5th to round out the top 5. But man, oh man, what a tough night at the office there for that man, Michael Hall, as he involved in another incident here as we close out the race. Now let's go back and look at what happened here, Matt. We're racing down the back straightaway, coming to the white flag here. We're looking on with Michael Hall. We're going to shut it out here. Whoa, what in the world happened behind these guys? I see the 21 involved in something. So let's look on with this 21 car here, Matt. I'm just trying to gather what in the world we just witnessed here on the closing lap. There's Brandon LeClaire. Contact between he and the 46 and the 55 car. Looked like 46 might have straight lined him just a little bit. All 3 of those motors go pop. Then some other people are involved. Alan Carter's around, coming to the white flag. Man, oh man, everybody everywhere getting damaged here on the final lap. We look back at Michael Hall. He was all kinds of loose at the top of turn number 1. And he will spin it to the bottom. Let's see what happens behind that. And it looks like nothing. He just jammed up the brakes, came to a stop here. But of course, your race winner as they raced into 3 and out of 4 was Brian Hacker to win round number 1, as you see right there on your screen. So we go back in live. There is your winner, in fact, Mr. Brian Hacker, at the start-finish line. And we're going to pull up here so you guys can see your feature results of the night. For Source Season 3, round number 1, Brian Hacker representing the Empire Racing Team takes it to victory lane. David Gross 2nd, Chris Stump 3rd, Tony Quadros 4th, Alex Bernard rounds out the top 5. Finishing 6th was Daniel Brown. Good rebound after some early race incidents there for the 33 car. Reed Christensen will finish 7th, Cole Ecker 8th, Sean Fletcher 9th, Dylan Sale 10th, Alan Carter 11th, Michael Hall 12th, Brandon LeClaire 13th, Zachary Wynn 14th, Brian Treadwell 15th. William Kruska will finish 16th, Christian Angel will finish 17th, Jonathan Goodman will finish in the 18th spot. 19th will be Eric Larendeau in car number 46. Finishing 20th was Mark Davis, 21st was Elliott Vining, 22nd Zach Coyer, 23rd Thomas Frisch, Ryan Toller finishes 24th, and your 25th and final finisher on the night was Cody Fisher. Did not start this race. So, Matt, overall, I guess a successful night for a few people, and the most successful, of course. Let's see if we can bring him up in here. Of course, your most successful racer on the night was the number 11 car, as he goes back to victory lane, finish the season out with a good run, and he will start this season with a huge win. If I can get him up in here, Matt. Let's see. We got to set this up a little bit better. Let's see. Did this work finally? Yes, it may have actually worked finally, as Matt and I are now about to have a word with tonight's race winner. Driving car number 11, Mr. Brian Hacker, finished off last season strong, and here we go. Season number 3, round 1, takes his number 11 car straight to victory lane. Dominating performance here at Five Flags. Brian, first off, you got a copy of me, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, Ryan.
Good deal. So, Brian, overall, great run for you. We see early on there, we got that caution there at about, lap 13, 14, and you choose the high side. Now, what went into, that decision, and why did it seem throughout that entire night that you were the only guy that was able to make that high side work on those restarts?
If I told you, I think I'd have to kill you. But
I'm game. Let's go.
So no, I've gotten pretty good at restarts in these cars. I race them quite a bit, so I don't think if as long as I can fire first, I don't think it really mattered where I started, high or low. So I kind of use that to my advantage to try to, maneuver the rest of the field how I possibly could by, where people were lining up and who was lining up where. So just kind of depended if I wanted to go top or bottom.
Well, then I guess from there, take us through the rest of this race, because mostly unchallenged except for a little bit of a challenge there from Thomas towards the end. Then very unfortunate, but netcode comes into play. But you guys were really setting us up there. That was about to be an intense battle for the race win.
Yeah, you really got to save tires here. So a lot of guys are complaining about the setup not being good, and it's really not the setup; it's how you drive it. So I was honestly a majority of the race, I was probably going 70-80%, trying to save as much as I could. You got to keep the tires under you. You got to keep them as cool as possible. And I think we did that, looking at my tire wear, we went up full 80 laps and I'm still in the 90% on both the right sides. So I think we did that. I think, a couple cautions there at the end kind of evened everything out. Everybody got to cool their tires off. So I'm sure we had better tires than Thomas did as he had to come through the field. But he was able to kind of get under me. I knew that I'd be able to get a good run. So I let him take it. I didn't want to wreck us both, and then was able to get back under him off of 4. He kind of pinched us a little bit, and unfortunately, it sounds like netcode got him. I couldn't tell. I just knew that he was kind of running me down. I was there, and he was running me down, and it's unfortunate what happened.
It absolutely is, but hey, you end up going to victory lane. We live and we learn. But let's talk a little bit about this season before we get you out of here. Talk a little bit about this season, because Reed and the gang have put a little bit of a twist to the schedule this season. If you plan on running this full schedule with us, how are you feeling as we move towards what could be interesting in the form of a few dirt races on the schedule this year?
Well, judging by your guys' broadcast team, I would assume you guys like dirt.
Yeah.
And I do too. I'm actually better. I'm a better dirt driver than asphalt driver, so I'm looking forward to them. I've got a higher I rating on dirt. I've got more wins on dirt, and I've got a better percentage on dirt. So I'm an asphalt guy through and through. I grew up going to asphalt tracks. I grew up watching asphalt racing. I love asphalt racing, but within the last 5 years, I've really kind of taken a liking to dirt, not just running it, but watching it. I watch all the the series, both local and national. And when I saw that Reed put a couple, more than a couple, when he put 4 dirt races on the schedule, my eyes kind of lit up. That's what I like to see.
Absolutely. We are excited for that, to say the least. Obviously, talking dirt, TV, that's what we do. So, yeah, I'm ready for it. I hope you are as well. But, Brian, before we let you go here tonight, shout out those sponsors for the first time this season. Let everybody know who got you to victory lane here tonight.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a new look for this season. So Carbon Junction, who's been on the car now for several years. Shout out to Drew and Colin and those guys for allowing me to run their stripes. Pathfinder Chassis, Narrative Coffee, Aberdeen Tavern up in Wisconsin. We'll hopefully be here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to run the entire season. My work schedule. I travel for sales a little bit, so like next Tuesday, I know I'm going to be out of town, so I'm not going to make it, but I'm going to make as many of these as I can.
Well, hey, we certainly look forward to it, Brian. Once again, congratulations, Week 1 winner here at the Five Flag Speedway, and we'll hopefully see you in 2 weeks when you get back.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
So that was race winner Brian Hacker. I do not believe that we have a connection to second place finisher David Gross, as we will instead go back to third place Mr. Chris Stump and have a quick word with him as we play musical Discord servers. And we will now pull in third place finisher, driver of the number 98 car, Mr. Chris Stump. Chris, it's right up the TDTV tower. You got a copy on me, buddy?
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Very, very good, Chris. So let's talk a little bit about tonight, because that was, to say the least, an exciting race, both from your perspective and from our perspective, obviously. You start up there on the outside of the front row, give Brian a few challenges early, and then kind of, fall back second, third, and kind of settle in there. But overall, gotta feel like tonight was a success for you personally.
Yeah, I'm happy with it, definitely. Brian and I are teammates. He's a street stock god amongst our team, along with dirt. I know you guys were just talking about that, so he should have a fun time on those. But yeah, I've been on quite a bit of a hiatus the last 18 months or 2 years in iRacing, and ran a few races at the end of last season. Had a really good time, and thought I'd get back in the swing of things and try to run this entire schedule.
Well, we certainly do hope to see it. So we asked Brian a little bit about the dirt stuff. What is your take on it? How are you feeling as we progress towards, I believe, 4 on the schedule this season?
Well, I spent about 20 years of my life on asphalt. I'm close friends will probably hate me for this, but I'm more of a dirt fan in real life. Although in iRacing, I don't run much dirt, and definitely not a strong suit. So I'll be leaning on Brian when we come to those races, just to survive and trying to not bring out too many cautions. So those will not be weeks that you'll be talking to me after a race. But yeah, I've Brian's been a big fan of the street stocks for a while, and quite honestly, I hadn't run them much since most of us, once we get out of rookie. But I've really enjoyed the few races that I've run here lately, and who knows? We'll see. We will see how the dirt stuff goes, I guess.
Oh, we absolutely will. We are so excited for that to come around. But Chris, right quick before we get you out of here to celebrate this third place finish tonight, is there anybody that you want to thank? Any sponsors on the car that you need to go over?
No sponsors. Just want to thank all my Empire Racing teammates. I want to thank Reed and the rest of the admins. Unfortunately, being new, Reed's the only admin that I know of, so the only one I can personally thank. So it's a thankless job. A lot of work throughout the week, dealing with guys crying after races and whatnot, and just getting constant messages, I can imagine. But thank him, and thank you guys in the booth. I really enjoy your broadcast.
Appreciate that, and we look forward to bringing you another good broadcast next Tuesday as we move on to the season. Chris, once again, congratulations. The third place finish here tonight to open up the season at Five Flags.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Have a good night, guys.
Sir, yes, sir. As Chris moseys on back down to where he once was. As Matt, any thoughts that you have been able to gather here? Overall, pretty good night of racing here at Five Flags.
Yeah, we had a couple cautions, but for the most part, it was good racing. These guys put on a good show for week 1 of season 3.
Absolutely, and I'm super excited whenever we come back for season 3, round number 2 next Tuesday night. Cannot wait to rejoin you guys for that one. But again, as you're looking on your screen right now, your race winner tonight, just to remind you, was in fact Brian Hacker in car number 11. Gross was second, didn't get a chance to get a word with him, so he must not have gotten the memo to jump in the Discord server. So, again, this was week 1 at Five Flags. Next week, we head to a brand new track for us here at TDTV. That'll be Stafford Speedway. So that'll be next Tuesday. And we will rejoin you live once again at 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for round number 2 of Season 3 for the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association right here on TDTV. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Ryan Williams, and for my broadcast partner, Mr. Matt Pridgeon, we bid you a goodbye and a good night. We will catch you in the next one.